I might have been probably a little harsh on Greg Popovich last year when I said he should probably retire and hang it up. I was probably mean when he was focused on the Olympics and not on NBA basketball, and he was telling the world, listen, I'm planning for Estonia right now. Like, I'm looking at Estonia tape right now. I'm not worried about this 30-win bullshit team that I'm got to deal with. I got DeMar DeRozan. We still got 30 games underneath our belt that we've won all season. I said, it's time to hang it up. Time to hang it up. But I actually think he might coach another 5 to 10 years. I'm pretty sure Pop's not going anywhere anytime soon. Greg is now the winningest head coach in NBA history with his 1,336th victory, passing Don Nelson with a 104-102 win over the Jazz, which is an impressive win. You don't often hear someone whose record just got beaten by saying things like Don Nelson did. He said, Greg is the greatest coach to ever lace them up. When I hired him as an assistant coach, I figured that he could learn something from me, but I ended up learning more from him than he ever learned from me. That is for sure. Come on now. Don Nelson giving Greg Popovich props here. The greatest compliment maybe in history of all compliments is like, listen, I hired this little punk-ass kid thinking, he could be my little mentee. And then he turned into you ended up being his Padawan. And in the wake of that milestone, there are stories aplenty going around about Pop. People are trying their very best to get information on Pop without actually having to talk to Pop because he never wants to speak about himself. And the best by far comes from DeMar DeRozan, who spent 3 years in San Antonio. This is what he said. He related this story, could be maybe the greatest retelling of a film session of all time. He says this, I remember one film session where Pop made us watch a Penguin National Geographic movie. It was interesting. It was basically learning about teamwork, how to come together as one and go after a common goal, whatever that goal was. I thought it was going to be a day where we watched film, but we ended up watching a full penguin movie. And it was the most interesting shit ever, how they migrate, how the males watch the eggs while the female goes out for X amount of months to go collect food, how they walk 60 miles to the water, 60 miles back while the males watch. It was the most craziest shit, but everybody basically all plays their role. But to look at it from the perspective of penguins, that's some Pop shit right there. Like, there is a Greg Popovich out there that runs those penguins, and that's how he does his job too. Only Greg Popovich would see penguins and be like, yeah, that's how I run my team. Let me show them how it goes. Let me show these guys what a team looks like. Penguins. That'll get through. That'll get through these little 30-win team that we got. Little Waddle, DeMar. Walk 60 miles for that water, DeMar. Who would have ever thought March of the Penguins shit would be a motivational tool for multi-millionaire athletes and it would actually get through and have it work? I mean, come on now. Greg Popovich is on another stratosphere. Thinking about, like, I don't even know how you think of that. We're just gonna take the time off. He watches probably at his hotel, watches a Penguin movie, and he's like, yeah, this is it right now. There's no need to critique the issues in the dribble handoff. Let's show him some ice, some penguins. And I've been kind of hinting it's probably time for Pop to hang up his hat the last 18 months. But this year, I think he's more engaged. He loved DeJounte Murray. Nobody was happier for Pop when he won the record than Murray. But now Mark Stein is reporting that Greg Popovich will coach at least one more year. I mean, why not? The Spurs is young. They're talented. He's never had to rebuild in his life, so this is like a new challenge for him. Didn't seem like management wanted to hire Becky Hammon as a head coach, and they're probably more interested in somebody like Quinn Snyder, who in another year was probably going to be begging to get out of Utah because the new rumors, as an aside, little new rumor mill popping is that the Knicks are pursuing Donovan Mitchell, low-key, high-key, though. Like, actually high-key. And the Spurs management has proven that they will stick with in lean times, so it's a desirable destination for someone like Snyder, because if he fucks up, he's not going to get fired. Like, it's a long-tenured position, especially if Pop tabs you. So, congratulations to Pop. Congratulations on breaking the record. And I will say, I will not hate you if you decide to stick around for a couple of years. Just stop focusing on the Olympics. Like, just keep focused on the NBA. Until at least those young guns end up winning you 50, 60 games like you used to have. Because it's disgusting to watch a Greg Popovich-led team be a 9 seed or a 10 seed. That's just not part of your culture, your DNA. 35 games a year, that's not Penguin shit. I tell you what, that is, I don't know what that is. It's probably some Lakers shit. But a rebuild, interesting stuff, especially for someone who's never done it before.